Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenny. Today's video is going to be a review, demo, and swatches of not one but two palettes. They are the Makeup Revolution and EmilyNoel83 collaboration palettes. I do have, this is upside down, I do have the Needs and the Wants palette. This is the inside of the Needs palette, and here's the inside of the Wants palette. I did use both palettes today, so let's go ahead and jump into the demo and then the review. So to start, I am going to be going into the Needs palette, and I am going to take the shade Love and put it all over my lids to set down some primer. This is the only eyeshadow shade that I'm going to be using from this palette today. So now to start with the crease work, I'm going to take a mixture of a couple shades. I'm going to go into Hobby, Prayer, and Midwest. And I'm just going to start putting this into my crease and outer V. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of the shade Dues Paid and put that on the outer crease and V. Going into a little bit of the shade Laugh Cry and then just a tiny bit of Cheer. I'm going to put this closer into the outer V and the lower crease. So now mixing the shades Family and Pi Phi, I'm going to do the same thing, focusing it more on just the outer corner instead of up into the crease as well. So now we're moving on to the inner corner portion of the eye, and I'm taking a mixture of three. First I'm going to go into the shade Capricorn on my finger, and I'm just going to pat this all over the inner portion of the eye. Now I'm going to go into the shade Pizzazz and do the same thing. Now going into the shade Belle Violet and doing the exact same thing. Taking just a little bit more of Family and Pi Phi, I'm going to kind of blend all of that together. So this is all that I am doing on my lids, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face and my eyebrows, and then we'll be back to finish the eye look and then use the Needs palette on my face. I finished my base and my brows, and while I was gone, I went ahead and put a little bit of Dark and Early, the dark one in the corner, and I used that as a liner to kind of make it a little more smoky. So to finish up the eye look, I'm going to take a mixture of the 4 mattes that I used in the beginning and run those all along the lower lash line, all the way to the inner corner. So now going into a little bit of, let's go into a little bit of Laugh, Cry, and Cheer. Put that really close to the lash line. Now going in with now going in with a little bit of the Family and Pi Phi again, taking that really close to the lash line on the outer corners only. So now with a definer brush, I'm going to go in with Eve Rose and put that on the inner corners. So now moving on to the rest of the face, we're going to go into the Needs palette, and to start I'm going to go in with the bronzer. It is the shade Courage. I'm going to take my fluffy brush and kind of pinch it, get it in that pan, and then contour bronze with it a little bit. So now I'm going to go into the blush, and the blush is in the shade Joy. So now I'm going to go into the shade Kindness and just lightly press that in right here to bring a little bit more light to that area. And now I'm going to go into the shade Gratitude to highlight. So now that I've added a lip liner and a lip gloss, this is the final completed look. Let's go ahead and start the review. So first, just a little bit about EmilyNoel83. She is a big influencer here on YouTube, and I love her with all of my heart. She's very trustworthy, very dependable. I feel like she's an amazing YouTuber, and she is one of the reasons that I started a YouTube channel, because she's kind of like my YouTube inspiration. I want my channel to be similar to hers, as in the fact that I want you guys to feel like I'm your friend and that you can trust me. And anything she would put her name on, I would totally buy, and so this was her first collaboration, and I was so excited for her. I've tried the Makeup Revolution concealer, and that's all that I've tried from them, so I hadn't tried any eyeshadows or anything before, and I was really, really excited to try these. Makeup Revolution is a cruelty-free brand, so if cruelty-freeness is a thing to you, then you can definitely use these palettes. So first off, a little bit about the packaging. Both packaging is a nice, sturdy plastic. It's not cardboard. In fact, the Needs palette is kind of difficult to open. Both palettes do have really nice good sized mirrors in them, especially the Wants. The Wants palette is a lot bigger than I was expecting, and so this mirror is really awesome. Look how big it is, and look at the mess that is my vanity. I did order these palettes off of the Makeup Revolution website, but they are available on Ulta right now, so if you are wanting to buy these, definitely get them from Ulta and get some points with it. So the first palette I'm going to go into detail with is the Needs palette. The Needs palette is the pink one that is smaller, and in this palette you get 6 eyeshadows, 2 highlight shades, 1 shimmer, 1 matte, a blush, and a bronzer. Now all of these shades were picked by Emily from other Makeup Revolution palettes. I don't remember which ones are from what palettes, but these were not created by her. As a whole, these face products are awesome. The bronzer is on the verge of being too dark for me, but if I blend it out really well and use a light hand, it looks really good. I really like the way that it looks when it's blended. It blends really, really nice. The blush is slightly glowy. Here, I'll go ahead and swatch them for you. The blush has a tiny, tiny bit of a sheen and a little tiny bit of like glitter fleck in it, but you can't really tell. So here's the bronzer. It is in the shade Courage, in the blush, in the shade Joy. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the little flecks of glitter, but this is a gorgeous blush. I love it a lot. The highlight shade, like the actual shimmery highlight shade, you swatch it and you're kind of like, that looks alright. You know, nothing too super duper special. And then here's the matte one. But that shimmer looks just kind of like, that kind of looks okay. And then you swatch it and it's just like, oh, you know, that's alright. But on the face, and here's the matte one as well. You can't really see it. On the face, that shimmery highlight, it really pops a lot more than I thought it would. It's still a kind of glow from within kind of highlight, not necessarily like boom in your face, but it's still kind of way glowier than I thought it would be, and I really like it. It's very wearable. It wears really nice throughout the day for it to be a subtle highlight. It doesn't really fade all that much. And it is in the shade Gratitude. I did not tell you the I didn't tell you the name of that. That's in the shade Gratitude, and then the matte one's in the shade Kindness. I really like all of the face products. They're really, really good products. Definitely makes me want to try more Makeup Revolution face products. The eyeshadows are really nice quality. I do enjoy them. I do wish that there was like one shimmer, because I feel like that would just like really kind of round this palette out. And Honesty is a nice color. It's a little too pink for my liking on the eyes, but I have used it as a blush, and it does make a very nice blush. I don't like the shade Passion, just because it is one of those dark shades with glitter in it, and it's a shimmery kind of shade because of the glitter in it, but overall it's a matte. It's really weird, and I'm just not a fan of that color specifically. The rest of them apply and blend gorgeously, and they wear really nice as well. So here are all 6 of the eyeshadows swatched. We have the shade Honesty, Passion, Peace, which is a little bit darker than my skin tone, Faith, Hope, and Love, which is basically my skin tone. So these are really, really pretty. They blend really nicely. They wear really nicely. They're super soft and buttery. If you are looking for a all-in-one kind of palette like face and eye, this is definitely a good one if you are in the color range for this palette. Unfortunately, I don't know that this palette is going to work for those with deeper skin tones because it is kind of catered to Emily Noel's skin tone, which makes sense, but unfortunately, I don't know how deep this would go. This palette in particular retails for $15, and I definitely think it's worth $15. I will have it linked down below for you in case you're interested. So now we are moving on to the Wants palette, and this palette is Gigantor. I saw this on videos and things, like Emily's reveal video before, excuse me, before it went live, and I saw how big it was, but in person I was just like, holy crap, this is huge. And I really, really like the plastic packaging, and this mirror is phenomenal. In this palette, you get 24 shades of mattes and shimmers. This color scheme is very Emily. She loves her like kind of rosy neutrals with a pop of color, and so I really, really like this palette. It gives me Lorac Mega Pro 4 vibes, which I know she loved that palette. Because it has those nice pops of green with the purples and the red kind of shades. I really like the color scheme of this palette because while there are pops of color, they're wearable pops of color, and I think that's kind of what she was going for. I will get into swatches in a minute. As a whole, I really, really enjoy this palette, and I personally love it and recommend it. Now, that being said, there have been lots of people who had issues with having mold in their eyeshadows, and that has caused them to take it off of the Makeup Revolution and the Ulta website, unfortunately. This was $20, and if they bring it back and fix that issue, I definitely recommend it. It's a really good palette. I personally have not had an issue with this palette. I didn't have any mold in my eyeshadows. I haven't had any allergic reactions or irritations, and all of the eyeshadows blend, apply, feel great. They don't have any type of issues at all. So as a whole, I definitely recommend this palette, but as of now, that it is not available, unfortunately. So I am going to go ahead and swatch row by row. Or do I want to do fours? I'm going to do that. I'm going to go by fours because I think that'll be easier, so I'm going to go like this. You got it. So in the very first column, row, whatever that is, we have the cream, which is a nice white cream shade. It is a very, very soft, buttery shade. We have Midwest, which is kind of like a nice creamy, creamsicle kind of orange. We have Oh Heavens, which is a really good highlight shade, really, really pretty, really good reflective kind of shade. And then we have Cupcake, which is named after her cat, and it is a beautiful, let me get a better swatch of that, a beautiful kind of like shimmery pink, very Cupcake appropriate. Second row is Hobby, nice kind of like cooler tone brown. Dues Paid, which is a nice like rosy orangey kind of brown. Love Tons is this really nice rosy kind of modern Renaissance vibe color. And then we have Laugh Cry, which is a really good kind of like peachy, almost orangey kind of shade. Really, really pretty. Next we have Prayer, a really nice kind of like rosy tone brown. Eve Rose, which is her second born daughter. Like a purpley, taupey kind of reflect with gold in it. So, and then we have Pizzazz, which is a really cool kind of like purpley shade. I really, really like this. And then we have Cheer, which is the nice kind of, that didn't swatch well at all. But it does apply beautifully. So it's this really nice kind of like rosy color. Next we have Grateful, which is this really nice like lime green with like a gold lemony kind of shift to it. Really pretty. And then we have Belle Violet, which is named after her first daughter, and I love this shade. Holy moly, it's so beautiful. That like bluish purple reflect is perfect. Then we have the shade Family, which is the nice kind of like cool tone purpley gray shade. Really like that one as well. And now this shade is the one that I'm not like a fan of, and it is the shade Heartbeat. And it applies, like look how it swatches. It swatches really nice. Good color payoff, nice shine. It does not pick up on a brush almost at all. And when I use my finger, you know how I applied the rest of these with my finger and they went on well. This one you have to sit there and just like rub and rub and rub and rub and nothing comes off. Unless you like push real hard and you know, it's your eyeball. You probably don't want to push that hard. I was just really unimpressed with that shade, but the other ones are really, really good. Next we have Good Vibes, which is very similar to Heartbeat, but this one's a little more orangey kind of red. And then we have Capricorn, a really nice metallic brown. And then we have Top Story, which is this gorgeous gold. Oh, that's beautiful. And then the next one is Corduroy, which is the matte green, and as you can see, it is very crumbly. So as you can see, that one's kind of patchy and not great. If you like pack it onto the outer V or something, or very lightly blend it into like other deeper colors, it looks fine. But if you wanted to use this strictly in your crease or in your outer V and blend it out, it blends out to a weird green-gray kind of shade, and so I don't like this one that much, unfortunately, because I personally can't apply it. I've seen looks where people get that shade to work really, really well. I am not one of those people, unfortunately, but I think it's a very pretty shade. I just don't think I personally know how to apply it correctly. And so now we have the final four. We have Side Hustle, which is this gorgeous kind of like leprechaun green. Army green. It's gorgeous kind of like dirty green with a gold shift. Really pretty. Pie Fi, which is that nice kind of burgundy purple kind of shade. Apartment, which is a nice chocolatey brown. These aren't swatching well at all, but they do apply very nicely. And then Dark and Early is the nice kind of black, but it's not like a deep, deep true black. It's more like a gray black. These are really nice as well. So as a whole, other than these two shades, I love all of them. I think they apply so nicely, they blend nicely, they have really good color payoff, they look beautiful on the lids. I just can't say enough good things about it, and I really hope they bring it back after they fix their issue, because I definitely recommend this, and I really, really want them to bring it back, because I think if you haven't got your hands on it, you definitely need to. It's a very, very good palette. So I will definitely have the Needs palette linked down below, and if the Wants palette comes back in the next few days, I will add it down there as well. But overall, definitely recommend both palettes, and I think they're really great. I hope you enjoyed my review. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you would like to subscribe, please feel free, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.